I wrote this book over many years. I started it years and years ago, and left it and came back to it. It changed over the course of time, also changed over the course of my life, and became a place that I returned to certain themes and ideas as I lived. And in the end, when I really became serious a few years ago about finishing it, I cut a lot of the other poems that didn't center around the experiences I was most interested in writing about. And I used the life cycle of a beehive as sort of a guiding principle through the poems, where I'm looking at maternity, matriarchy, motherhood, daughterhood, relationships, and even to some extent, climate change. I write a lot about motherhood and birth, and the opening poem of the book talks a little bit about that too. It's called Opening the Hive. Late afternoon slants illuminates the worn white husk of hive and gleams like an incubator bulb on the oval of an egg. This might have been the way I was born, to move over my mother and wash from her what was left of painful birth, her legs like the old wood cracked with a hive tool, my lips clamping and the bees burrowing into honeycomb, bathed in sweetness, a taste fresher when robbed this way. Smoke to calm, to push the heaving down, down to the center, where the queen hides and is stroked, flanked by the upturned rumps of guard bees, wings fanning scent in warning. I open this small universe and set it in motion, a new heart ready to be fed and broken and fed again, gathering strength to reseal and take into itself what we leave behind, fingerprints through broken comb and crushed drones. This might have been the way I was born, then set to life, stolen honey clinging to light hair that covers everything new, like late afternoon sunlight, a kiss on my dented forehead, mother collapsed and emptied, of poison, barbed stinger, and the baby, the jelly, the bee. And while the book starts with those poems of birth and goes through lots of poems of early motherhood and childhood, eventually adolescence, and then like bees collapse, so do some of the poems deal with illness and death and grief. And that's where the poems, I think, end up toward the end of the book, are in those experiences of losing a maternal figure, of facing mortality, of collapse, and then recovery.